Yes， 好，咁好啦，好啦，等阿 Helen 整理一下思緒咯，或者先問下Carlos 我嘅編劇，佢究竟即係改編呢個劇本嘅時候，其實遇到啲咩困難咧嚇？我諗因為在座嘅同學可能都唔知會唔會有興趣，有陣時甚至可能睇過一啲小説，睇過一啲古仔，可能覺得幾有趣喎，嗰啲古仔啊，我想改編咗一個舞台劇啊，點樣咧？可唔可以改編咗一個舞台劇咧？咁今次一個咁特別嘅機會，即係當然係Helen 呢個係真人真事啦，咁但係都係一個故事，都係一個古仔。咁但係一個小説或者一個自傳式嘅古仔改編做舞台劇嘅時候，其實遇到啲咩困難咧 ？So before we'll let time for Helen to collect his thought, and before that, I would like to ask our playwright. So what's the challenge of adapting a memoir, an autobiography, or fiction into a play? Because I think maybe you will come across some interesting stories in your life, or when you read a story, maybe you want to adapt it into a play. So how's the challenge? What's the tips you may want to give to our fellow students?
廣東話先，跟住先用英文。我諗當我接觸到本書嘅時候咧，佢好豐富，因為你睇到而家2個鐘頭嘅，其實如果真係要將書入邊每一個細節都講出嚟嘅話咧，我諗係60集長劇都做唔完啦。咁因為我已經係即係濃縮咗好多，希望係揀最 essence 最精華嘅地方出嚟。咁我諗書如果睇開小説同你睇電視或者睇電影睇舞台劇唔同嘅地方就係書好多時候個時空你任你點跳嘅，可以講好多內心嘅感受喺入邊嘅。你可以有無數個人物出現嘅，因為你寫出嚟㗎嘛。可以講好多你嘅思想啦，你嘅諗法啦。但係當你擺喺舞台上面，你唔可以揾個人企出嚟，然後再講我覺得好慘啊，我好辛苦啊，你講晒你嘅諗法出嚟係唔好睇嘅，喺 stage 上面。而且喺舞台上面都好大嘅限制，就係你點樣揀，即係你點樣揀選你想要嘅嘢咧。而且有咁多人物入邊，你係冇可能有60個人物同時擺台上面嘅。咁我諗呢個係個難度，就係你點樣 fill up 咗，即係點樣去揀啦，同埋點樣去剪裁一啲嘢。咁當然就係當中入邊，當你由一啲思想上面嘅嘢、一啲感受嘅嘢，你要將佢變成一啲情節。要變成一啲 action 嘅時候，你可能要有好多你嘅 imagination 放入去嘅。So I will translate it into English. So I think this book is really very, very interesting, and it has a lot of little details, and I really cannot write. I really cannot adapt that into a play just within 2 hours. If I need to make it all, I think it takes more than 60 episodes of a TV show. So I think to adapt a novel to a play, the most important thing is how to choose the things that impress you most. And for books, most of the time we talk about thoughts and emotions and feelings, but on stage we cannot just say that we are depressed, that we are sad. We need to put it into plots, and we need to make it into real action. So the playwright needs to imagine, put a lot of imagination to build up about those thoughts and to translate the thoughts into real stories and real actions.
好就繼續 follow up 頭先講緊琪頭先講緊個 choice 嘅問題，係嘅，即係點樣去選擇嘅問題啦。當你改編嘅時候，咁其實個戲入邊都提到，其實亦都本書入邊都提到。亦都係我哋其實賣戲嘅時候個 selling point 就係一個好重要嘅 choice 啦。喺個戲入邊 ，Helen 佢做咗個好重要嘅 choice， 就係選擇咗放棄咗佢嘅原本嗰個職業律師，然之後去做呢個餐廳咁樣。咁而家睇翻轉頭，其實都已經10年前嘅事啦。咁你點樣睇而家呢個？你當年嘅呢個 choice 咧 ，Helen 係你覺得會唔會 regret 咧？甚至而家呢個 moment So how to follow on Carlos' point about choice, I want to ask Helen. So it's already been 10 years, right? So how do you look at your choice 10 years ago now?
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting to watch the play because yes, I used to be a lawyer, and I did quit that kind of profession to open the restaurant. And I can't believe how fast the time has gone. It really is quite amazing to see our life 10 years on from this book. I think everybody will reach a crossroad in their life where you have to make decisions what you want to do, whether you follow somebody's dream or you follow your own dream. And I think, to date, our restaurant's still standing, and we're actually debt-free now, thank God. And those sauces that you saw outside, you were holding it for the photo, guys.嗰啲汁你哋揸住影相喺出邊，而家可以喺香港買。You can actually buy them in Hong Kong, in City Super, and also is it Marketplace and is it Yatta? Yatta. So it's crazy, isn't it? We make these sauces in the UK, and we sell them back to Hong Kong. 嗰啲汁你哋揸住，我哋喺英國整嘅，我哋有個廠喺英國整嗰啲汁，而家買翻嚟香港，所以你哋而家可以喺 City Super 嗰度買。And you don't realise your choices will dictate your future. I mean, we just had is it President Xi come to Manchester, and he actually invited us for lunch to meet him. And his Premier Lee, cooked for him last year at number 10 Downing Street. So it's really quite a crazy life that we lead at the moment. It's not just a restaurant, it's not just being a chef. You actually open so much more doors. I think that's what we're doing now.
簡單嚟講頭先Helen 都係講咗時間飛逝啦，即係唔經唔覺已經10年啦。咁亦都當初其實冇諗到，即係佢當時嘅決定會帶到佢去而家有咁多唔同嘅機遇啦。佢哋喺英國其實佢哋嘅餐館係好成功嘅嚇，咁甚至中國嘅領導人去英國嘅時候，佢曾經為李克強去煮過一個宴會啦嚇，咁佢哋喺英國真係做到成功。咁我諗即係當時10年前 Helen 頭先講嘅就都冇諗過會帶佢去到呢條路。咁我想問有冇咩 tips 當你即係響一個咁嘅分岔路嘅時候，你有好多咁嘅決定，譬如好似當年10年前，相信都係一個唔容易嘅決定啦，係咪？即係我會想像得到。尤其是喺中國人嘅家庭，我諗係一個好大嘅掙扎嚟嘅。我哋個戲入面當然 dramatize 咗啲啦，即係但係我都訪問下 Helen 嘅時候，都聽到係某個程度上都係真嘅，即係父母會某個程度上有反對嘅聲音咁樣。咁係咯，咁當你喺一個咁樣嘅三叉路口，你要做一個決定，又唔係個個都支持你，有唔同嘅聲音嘅時候，你點樣去做呢個決定呢？有冇一啲 tips 俾我哋嘅年輕嘅朋友？我諗因為在座嘅年輕朋友，可能佢哋都可能未咁快需要做好啲好重大嘅決定，咁但係即係的確都已經因為佢哋都係 secondary school student， 佢哋都將會面對好多唔同嘅決定啦。呢啲決定可能都影響大家嘅人生啦。咁我想問下會唔會有咩 tips 咧？ So I want to ask Helen. What I want to ask Helen is that because most of you, I think you are maybe you are coming to the crossroad of your life. Maybe right now at this moment you don't have. It seems that you don't have a big decision to make, but you don't know. A decision you are going to make now may impact on your future life a lot. So I want to ask Helen if there are any tips when you come across some really difficult decision. On what grounds you can make your decision? 你可以點樣做呢個決定咧？當你真係面對一啲咁嘅難關嘅時候。
I can only speak personally.
Okay, so, but your person is
if I have any really difficult decisions to make and I don't know what to do, then I won't act. So don't act out of fear. Yeah, you need to research your situation. So, you know, if you're deciding what course you want to take for A-levels or university, then don't just go for A because it's the fastest route. Think about it, and you know, don't worry about taking a bit of time to think about things, and don't be pressured by anybody because you've got to do the reading, you've got to do the learning, you know, in your university.
好時間又飛逝啦，真係。咁會唔會在座嘅同學或者老師以後會唔會有任何嘅問題可以借呢個機會啊？有冇啲乜嘢想問下？無論編劇又好，Helen 又好。
Are you guys on Facebook? Yeah. Or Twitter? Why don't you like our page Sweet Mandarins and also follow us on Sweet Mandarins, and if you've got any questions, say you want to write a book or you'd like to do law or you'd like to open your own business, 如果你哋想自己開生意或者你哋想寫本書你有問題 if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them on social media on Facebook and also Twitter. Okay, this is not really the right forum to answer the question because we're constrained on time. But yeah, 如果你哋有問題，你想問我點樣寫書，我點樣想做律師，我開個生意，我可以同你幫你哋 answer the question，OK？ 如果你 Facebook 我。
哇，好好有一個，我早排先睇電視講緊而家有道計劃。Right now, I think the government is pushing for some mental service. So right now you have a really successful person. To give you to be your mentor, I think this is a great opportunity. 係有冇但係真係會唔會而家有任何同學有問題都可以借呢個機會問咗先嘅，把握呢個機會有冇？好有咪隔離右手邊望下你右手邊有咪。
Okay, it works. Why were you so adamant about opening a restaurant? I mean, you had a successful life, so why?
Well, you know, the book that I wrote was 70,000 words, and it's about 3 generations. It's about my grandmother, my mother and me. You kind of got that in the story, right? And the biggest issue with our family is that we lost it all before we were born. Okay, my grandmother was extremely successful in the restaurants, but she lost all the money, all the assets, all the business, and we were basically born into utter poverty. Absolutely nothing. When you come from that kind of background, you want to get it back. Yeah, so it's about reputation, it's about the family name. So it's actually more than a restaurant. And actually, when I quit the law, I thought I could still be a lawyer. Yeah, because no road ever closes finally, does it? Doors can also reopen. So that was my thinking. That's why I decided to open a restaurant.
好，我簡單地翻譯一下。頭先因為呢邊有個同學問點解你咁肉緊點解咁大決心嚇，咁堅持要開間餐廳咧？頭先 Helen 話，因為個戲都有交代到啦，其實佢哋因為賭錢影響咗佢哋屋企好多，因為 before Helen 細個嘅時候，曾經佢之前佢哋屋企人佢太婆啊，佢阿爸其實都曾經因為賭錢令到冇咗幾間餐館啊，咁所以 Helen 覺得所以開餐館唔係淨係真係開餐館咁簡單，好似個戲入邊講係一個 family 係一個佢哋嘅要攞翻啲嘢，嗰個唔係淨係佢自己嘅嘢咁簡單，係佢哋家族嘅嘢，呢個諗法。好，有冇同學有任何其他嘅問題 ？This way, yes.
Hi, Helen. Hi. I have a question. From the play, we can see how there was a moment where your parents, your family members kind of discouraged you a little, didn't support you. How did you find the willpower to carry on? Ooh. And what would be your advice
to us?
Yeah, to us, because we go through that like discouragement sometimes. Not exactly like the same way, but we get that a lot. So we want to know how you carried on. Thank you.
解釋咗問題先。頭先呢位同學話因為個戲入邊Helen 都有講嘅，佢父母唔多贊成佢嘅開頭啊。咁頭先嗰位同學就問你點樣父母咁唔贊成，你點樣去揾到個勇氣繼續堅持落去咧，繼續做咧
？Okay, right. You know, in your life, you always get people who say you can't do it. Yeah. Half the people will go, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to do it. The other half, which is my camp, is I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I can do. Okay.
Helen 頭先講好多時你都會遇到有唔同嘅話俾你聽唔好做啦，咁或者去覺得你唔應該做啦某啲嘢咁樣，咁但係 Helen 就係話有一半人咧就會係啊你啱嘅認同咗啦，咁就唔做啦，咁但係 Helen 就會選擇有另一半人就會咁，而 Helen 就係呢一半人就係話我會做俾你睇，就睇下我係咪真係做到嚇，咁 Helen 就係做咗呢個選擇。
Now, of course, when you're actually going to show someone, yeah, you've got to do a bit of hard work behind it. Yeah, it's not just let's have a go and wing it. Yeah. Otherwise, if you don't do it right, they're going to go, I told you so.
Helen 當然最緊要嗰樣嘢就係你唔係真係盲中中做咗就算啦，唔係死有一面鏡，而係你真係要落足功夫，真係要努力去做俾人哋睇，去 show 俾人哋睇，費事你真係失敗咗嘅時候，人哋就會話都話咗你啦。好會唔會再有問題？我諗最後一題問題啦，即係呢邊嘅同學，呢邊有一位同學，呢邊有一位同學，最後一條問題啦。
Hi. My question for you is that the play we saw a situation that your parents had a restaurant which got robbed, and later on you also had a restaurant which got robbed. So don't you think that maybe destiny repeated itself, and you should not have decided to open a restaurant but continue being a lawyer?
頭先呢邊呢位同學話，咦，似乎個戲都不斷重複緊個歷史，因為佢哋爸爸媽媽嘅外賣店曾經俾人打劫，而佢哋自己開嘅新嘅外賣店亦都俾人打劫嚇，咁佢哋嘅餐館亦都俾人打劫，咁會唔會好似個歷史重複咁？係咪你覺得唔應該繼續做咧？你覺得呢度我想補充少少，我自己當時其實 come across Helen 呢本書咧，係因為我係嗰陣時向英國讀緊書嘅時候，我做 research， 我做一個戲咧係關於一個中式嘅外賣店咧，唔係佢哋唔關佢哋事，但係另一個中式嘅外賣店嘅主人咧，嘅店主咧，俾一班白人細路打死咗嘅。咁我亦都當時係come across 有其他 case， 有啲未至於打死，有啲係被打傷嘅嗰個 takeaway 嘅主人。咁所以其實我諗 Chinese takeaway 或者Chinese restaurant 被針對咧，都唔係話好 uncommon 嘅事嚟嘅喺英國。咁所以佢哋的確係面對會好多困難啦。At this moment, I'd like to chip in a little bit. You see, as this student said, there are two robberies you see in the play. But at the moment, the first time when I read this memoir was when I was a student, a master's student in London. And the reason why I came across this book was that I was doing research on a case about a Chinese takeaway owner who was being beaten to death. And then I found out that this case of a Chinese takeaway owner being beaten or being bullied or being sought was not uncommon in Britain. So I can imagine how difficult or how much challenge Helen or especially Lily and Mabel were facing during their times. So,
Yeah, destiny was mentioned in the play, wasn't it? You know, your fate. It's really amazing that by making sources now in 2015. We actually are the 4th generation to make a business out of sauce. Because as you saw in the play, my great-grandfather actually made soy sauce in Guangzhou and sold it to Hong Kong. By opening this restaurant, Sweet Mandarin, which is the name of the play, we've become the 3rd generation of women restaurateurs. So that too is destiny. Now, with anything in history, there's going to be good and bad, isn't there? As in the play, the actress is quite upbeat, and that is really my kind of thinking. I don't seem to want to dwell too much on the bad stuff, although you do plan, for that. But I think you should always keep the positive in good moderation. Yeah, so, our family has these cycles where we've gone up and down like a roller coaster. The only way I can ensure that my family is going to be safe in my generation and futures to come is that we don't gamble. So even today, I don't buy lottery tickets. Yeah, so I know what will happen. And all you can really do with history is to learn from it.
Helen 講咗好一樣嘢就係嘅，好似彷彿係命運嘅，佢哋呢一代又再次從事翻呢個餐飲業啦。咁但係history 係你 passive 面對嘅話，你就可能面對呢個就會被命運打敗啦。咁但係你都可以從呢個歷史之中學習嘅。所以 Helen 頭先話佢今時今日佢唔會賭，甚至買彩票佢都唔會買，因為佢知道賭有幾大影響。咁所以佢唔會賭啦，因為就係從呢個歷史之中學習啦，知道點樣可以令自己做得更加好，點樣去令下一代可以有一個更加好嘅未來。好，咁我諗即係呢度時間差唔多啦，好多謝今日嘅幾位同學咁熱情嘅反應，好多謝大家，好多謝咧，多謝晒，多謝。